Hi, welcome to kindergarten. Wow, welcome to kindergarten. A couple of weeks ago, you came to the school and you picked up some paper. There was a black square that some of you used for your snowflake, and then there was three different size pieces of paper, all green, two lighter green, and one a darker green. Um, what's really important here is that we choose the right size today. So I have the smallest size paper on top. This is of the light green. And then we have the dark green in the middle and the biggest, I think it's 12 by 18 sheet of light green below it. Okay, so we're going to only work with the smallest or the skinniest green sheet today. So save the other two. We'll talk about that next week. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them in a safe place. And now we are worried about this one. So with this sheet of paper, what we're going to do is first look at it. You'll notice it's long, and I will be turning it a lot and talking about some different things here, but we have two short sides and we have two long sides. What we're going to do is turn it so that we're looking at it the tall way. And I'm going to see if I can get this whole thing in here, which I probably will not be able to. Well, you'll be able to see it in a little bit. So you'll notice I have my thumbs on the bottom, okay, and I have my other fingers on top, and I'm going to be folding this in half, all right? So I'm bringing my thumbs that were on the bottom, and I'm bringing them up, and I am going to match them up with the two corners. So I'm matching these corners that I'm holding on to with the two corners from the other side. And what I do is I match up one, match up the other one, and I hold it down. And then I bring my thumbs around and I kind of slide my fingers without moving the paper to the middle. And then I take the one that I took off and I bring that below, and I'm going to slide my hand down so that it kind of pinches the fold. And then I go out with one hand, bring this up, and go out with the other hand. If you have an adult and you're struggling, you can ask them for help, but I'd really like you as a kindergarten to be able to fold this paper. You can always have the adult check it afterwards, and what you want, as we can see, is these corners here to match. Okay. Now you will need a pencil and a ruler here for the next step. So I'm going to grab a ruler. Okay. If you don't have a ruler, let me know, and you can have an adult. What we're looking at is we're going to be making a line that is the width of our ruler. Okay. So our paper now has two different sides, and this camera is really hard for me to show you guys, but you have the open side. So we always talk about a mouth, right? This would be not the spot you'd want to come up on. And then we have a folded side, okay? So we can't open a fold, right? What we need to do is we're looking for the open side, right? And this is where my thumb is, on the open side. And we're going to match the ruler up, the side of the ruler up, with the open side. Okay, this is a good time to have a parent come and kind of double check, because we don't want to do this wrong. Right. So we have the ruler. We're going to match this edge up with the edge of the paper on the open side. Okay, and I do want you as the kindergartner to hold, and if you have an adult near you, they can help you hold it. And then with your other hand, I'm left-handed, so I'm holding it with my right hand. And if I was the other way, like a lot of you are, then I would hold it like this, and then I would draw down with my right hand. Okay. Either way, what you're doing is you are making a line going across on the open side. So I've said this a bunch. It has to be on the open side. If you draw that line on the fold side or one of these other sides, this whole thing will be wrong. Okay? Now above this, I always have my in-person students write their name. And so I could write Mr. L. Right? If you're at home, it's probably not super important, but you could do that. So now that we have our name and a very important line going across, what we're going to do next is we're going to look at it. Our line and our name should be up at the top. And now we're going to talk about the middle. So from one side to the next, if our fingers moved across at the same speed, they would touch at the middle. Right? Middle means that one side is the same as the other side. Right? If I put my line here, we see that this is a lot bigger space than this little skinny space. So middle means that they are both equal. Right? So starting on that line, I'm going to find where I think the middle is, and I'm going to draw a line that starts on the line and goes all the way down to the bottom. And we want to try to make it as straight as possible. After we do that, now what we're going to do is try to imagine where the middle would be from here to here. Okay? Then we're going to go over to this one, and we're going to try to find where we think the middle is from this finger to the edge of the paper. And I think there. Now the reason we did that is we have to make 2 more lines, but we need to do them in the spaces in between here. So from this line that we made for the middle to this line, now we're going to draw another line in the middle there, and we're going to come straight down. And then we're going to go over here from here to here and draw a line in the middle. We're going to come down and here. Okay, so now that we know what we're doing, from here to here, the middle would be there. From here to here, middle there. Again, drawing straight lines. Okay. Now, before we go on to the next step, we want to make sure that we have space in between all of our lines. None of our lines should touch, and none of our lines should get too close to the edge here. Okay, so a couple things to double check. Does this line that goes across, is it on the open side? Do the lines start on this horizontal line that goes across? Do they start on that line and go all the way to the bottom? If they don't go all the way to the bottom of the folded side, then please add more to them. And do they look somewhat straight? Okay, those are things that are really important for this step. All right, so make sure you have all that, and then watch the next video on cutting.